Good morning, neighbors. I hope the audio on this is okay. Let's see how this goes. Koch gets $2.5 billion in dividends from unit that offloaded asbestos liability. January 19th, industrial conglomerate Koch Industries received nearly $2.5 billion in dividend payments last year from its Georgia Pacific unit, which had spun off a subsidiary that took on its liability from asbestos. Liability is kind of a synonym for responsibility, right? They took on its responsibility for asbestos litigation and then filed bankruptcy to limit lawsuit payouts, according to documents filed in a U.S. bankruptcy court in North Carolina, period. End of paragraph. So, this is LLCs in action, limited liability corporations, and the hosers and posers that can take advantage of these things. Have a few million sitting around to pay lawyers and consultants and legal advisors on how to structure a responsibility away from yourself onto somebody else. Play the stock market. Play the tax rules for profits, pure profits. Koch unit, Georgia Pacific, used a corporate bankruptcy maneuver known as the Texas two-step. Go figure. No wonder I moved out of that state and never looked back. Forming a new Texas subsidiary. Best Wall. What an odd name. Sounds like a wall against liability, responsibility, corporate responsibility. Convenient, no? That took on the company's asbestos liability. Best Wall declared bankruptcy about 3 months after its founding. The latest court documents filed on Wednesday provide new detail about how Koch has benefited from the case. The article further goes on to describe they're not alone in doing this. This is how this liability, this risk, this responsibility, this pollution fact, it's a fact, there is pollution, it does things and we know about it, gets overlooked, gets buried in political nonsense and people worried about sexuality. People so insecure in their own sexuality, they're afraid of people that have a little different mind about sexuality. Piss off. Several major companies, including Johnson & Johnson and 3M. We could go down a list of these things, these limited liability corporations, meaning they have to get their profits. That's the bottom line. What that billions of dollars is health care for the nation so that people with medical issues and problems can get help and assistance and guidance and not be bankrupted for something that maybe could have been prevented. There was this element called due diligence. Anything we worked with, these are major industrial controls. We had a robot crush an electrician in a plant, and it was a combination of errors. It was a tragedy. And so millions were spent to prevent that tragedy, because it honestly was. It was just an absolute mistake at a number of levels on a number of people. So this corporation took about to make it safer for the workforce because they had liabilities. A person died because of a robot. But it's not a black and white call. So these limited liability companies, U.S. bankruptcy law requires that creditors must be fully repaid before shareholders. Meaning that person with asbestosis that can't breathe, that needs breathing assistance, that can't work because they're breathless, just trying to get to work. Yeah, that's why I do these videos. Thank yous and peaces out.